Good morning, my dear students. So today I'm going to start from chapter 1 of your class 11 maths book, that is sets. Okay, so as we in our everyday life we often speak of collection of objects of a particular kind, such as pack of cards, crowd of people, then cricket team. In mathematics also we have come across collections, for example natural number collections or points or prime numbers. So this type of collections of well-defined objects are known as sets. So simple way we can define the definition of a set as set is a well-defined collection of objects. Okay, so it may be alphabets, small letter alphabets, or you can say natural number, collection of natural number, or you can say fractions with positive, negative. All this are forming a group, and this type of well-defined collections are known as our set. Okay, so there are two methods of representing the sets. Okay, first method is the roster or tabular form, and second is our set builder form. So in this two form we can represent the set. Okay, so there is two form, that is one is known as the roster or tabular form and another is our set builder form. Now what is the difference in the roster form? So let us understand. So whenever we are talking about roster form, suppose if I want to take a number 42 and I want you to write down its factors. So what will be the factor? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 14, then 21 and 42. So whenever I am representing these factors in a curly bracket, so this and inside this you can see there are elements present in it. So this type of form is known as our roster or tabular form. Or suppose if you want to represent the vowel, how do you represent the vowel? As A, E, I, O and U, is not it? So whenever you are using curly bracket and inside this curly bracket you are writing the elements, so this type of form is known as our roster form. Okay, now what is set builder form? Suppose set builder form, suppose just now only I have explained you the A, E, I, O, U are the vowels of this alphabet. Suppose if I define the set as V and inside this V there are what? Elements, and this elements I am representing with this X, and I am writing here X is a vowel in English alphabet. Okay, and I am closing with my curly bracket. So when I am writing this, that V is the vowel which is the defined as the set. A set is defined with the capital V, and inside this V I am writing here as our curly bracket with X, defining the element inside this curly bracket must be the vowel in the English alphabet. So what will be the answer of this? Will be what? Simply A, E, I, O, U. But we are not writing the answer, is not it? We are simply defining the form which should be inside this curly bracket. So this type of, okay. Now let us next see the different types of sets. So first is the empty set. So what do you mean by an empty set? A set which does not contain any elements. Or there is another name of empty set, that is known as null set or void set. So let us see what does empty set mean. Suppose I define a set A and inside this set A, there are elements that is ranging from 1 to 2, and I am defining my element to be a natural number. So can we get any natural number in between 1 and 2? There is no answer. So that means this set does not have any elements inside it. So this type of sets are known as what? Empty sets, null sets, or void set. Second is finite and infinite sets. A set which is empty or it consists of definite number of elements is called the finite set. Otherwise, it will be infinite. Okay. So let us see. So for example, if I define a set W which consists of days in a week, so what will be my answer? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday. So there are 7 days in a week and we can count it. That's why it will fall under what? Finite set. Okay. And suppose let us again consider a set G which is consist of sets of point of a line. So in a line, how many points are there? We cannot count. Okay, so there are infinite number of points, therefore this type of sets will be falling under infinite sets. So in finite set you will have definite number of elements, or it may be also empty, but in infinite we cannot count the number of elements present inside the sets. That is, this is known as what? Infinite sets. Now what does equal sets means? In equal sets are done comparison between two sets. Okay, so two sets, if they are equal, only if they have exactly the same element. For example, see here, I am defining a set A and inside this I am writing 4 elements, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4. And in the second set B I am writing another elements which are 4, 1, 3 and 2. So if you see what are the elements present in our first set, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4. And if you see in the second set also, it is having same number of elements, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this type of sets are known as what? Equal sets. Another example I want to show you. Suppose in your element A, in set A, you have elements like 1, 2 and 3. So numbers are how many? Numbers are 3. But how many elements are there? That is shown as 1, 2 and 3. In our set, you are having how many number of elements? That is 5. But what are the types of element present here? That is simply 1, 2 and 3. So this type of sets also fall under what? In equal sets. So in equal sets, you do not have to focus on the how many numbers are present, how many number of elements present inside the sets. Only you have to focus that the value of elements that is present inside the set must be same. So this is known as what? Equal sets. Okay, next is the subsets. So subsets is shown by the symbol this. Okay. Suppose I am defining a set X where a set of all students in your school. And I am defining another set in which the set of all students in your class. So if you see, the student that is present in the class is also a part of the student present in the school inside it. So that means what we can say, that the number of student that is a part of Y is also a part of what? X. That means I can say that Y set is the subset of our X. Okay, that means Y is a part of our X. So that's why we are writing here Y is the subset of X. Next is power set. Power set is defined with capital P. Suppose if I am defining a set A where elements are 1 and 2, and if I want you to write the subsets. So subsets is, first element is 5, that is not written inside the curly bracket. 5 is always written like this. Next comes the single element 1, then single element 2, then altogether 1 and 2. So inside this set there are how many subsets? 4. And while you are writing together this subset, this is known as the power set of that particular set. So what is the definition of a power set? It is the set of all the subsets. So whenever you are writing all together the subset in a group, that type of group is known as the power set. And there is a formula. How many power sets we can calculate is formula 2 to the power m. So 2 to the power m means the number of elements. So if you see this example, how many elements are here? 2. So 2 to the power 2 will be 4. That's why how many subsets are here? 4. And power set is also 4. So this is the formula. Next is our universal set, which is the final type of set that is given with the symbol capital U. For example, when I am talking about real number, so real number will be considered as our universal set. Why? Because inside the real number you will have whole numbers, natural number, integers, is not it? So this is known as what? An universal set. For example, when I take capital N means what? Natural number, is not it? And inside this natural number there will be how many numbers? It may be prime numbers, it may be even numbers, it may be what? Odd numbers, isn't it? So these are a part of what? The natural number. Then the natural number will be acted as the universal set for all the prime numbers, even numbers and odd numbers. So here these are the 6 different types of sets that you have to learn.